I mean, in all honesty, you just can't even make this. You can't make this up. My dreams. Sweet dreams and I, when I close my eyes, every moment of the night, I'm dreaming all the time. 1 day ago, news. Attackers blow up Nigerian prison fence, free 266 inmates. I had a dream about a prison break where 6 people escaped. The very next day, it's breaking news. I didn't even know it. Palestine, well, it was in Israel. 6 Palestinians escaped a Israeli prison. 6 of them. I had a dream about 6. This has 266 inmates on it. 266. Very interesting. Attackers blow up Nigerian prison fence, free 266 inmates. Reuters, CNN. Okay? They're posting this. I had my dream before this happened. However, like I said when the first time, I said, Spirit likes to show me something. It's like, oh, that just started, but it's like, no, wait, there's more of that coming. Like, and then the example I used was the floods. Oh, I had a dream of subways flooding. Oh, there's those people in China, neck deep and flooded, still standing inside the damn subway, up above their shoulders even. Water. And I thought, okay, that's it. Then, no. London, flooding. Oh, New Jersey or New York, whatever it was, flooding subways. Later on. So it's like, no. It's not done yet, J-Snip. So here we have a second one where it did that. Just incredible. So let's talk a little bit now about, allow myself to introduce myself. My insider dude, or they, as he's always said, we, us, when he would refer to him and whoever he works with. And again, I always say he. It could be a female for all I know. I don't think it is, just for whatever reason, but it could be. Could be. And they said, be ready. Nothing else, no other hints. I've replied, I got nothing back. So, be ready. And then we have incredible news today about General Milley, or Miley, whatever how you pronounce his damn name, and Nancy Pelosi, that because even though there's the inauguration, I think on January 6th, it doesn't become official till like January 21st. So technically, Trump still has some power, for a few days. And they're saying, which I'll just read you because I've been texting with Crypto Karaoke Steven today about this. It's very interesting. He goes, holy crap, maybe the Milley thing was the be ready from your guy. And I'm thinking, very possible. He goes, it's massive treason, which it is, by the way. It absolutely is. And I'm like, be ready for one hell of a week, maybe, is what he's telling us. And it starts off, pretty much, with this news. And the news, which Daily Washington Post even is even doing this, but they're showing a link there. But Daily Mail has it. General Mark Milley took secret action to secure nukes from unstable Trump after he lost the election and called China's top military leader to reassure the country Trump would not attack in a desperate bid to stay in office. New Bob Woodward book reveals. Well, it's just a book, right? It's just a book that says this. Oh, hold on. Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Mark Milley, took a series of extraordinary actions after the January 6th Capitol riot because he was concerned an unstable Trump might undertake military action in a desperate bid to stay in office, which we all know is complete shit. But, hold on. There's an older CNN article I'd like to read you. Posted January the 8th, 2021. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi told House Democrats in a letter on Friday that she spoke with the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Mark Milley, to discuss President Donald Trump and the nuclear codes, as Democrats call for the president to be removed from office after a violent pro-Trump mob stormed the Capitol. Quote, "This morning," this is her, "I spoke to the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Mark Milley, to discuss available precautions for preventing an unstable president from initiating military hostilities or accessing the launch codes and ordering a nuclear strike," Pelosi wrote in a letter. "The situation of this unhinged president could not be more dangerous, and we must do everything that we can to protect the American people from his unbalanced assault on our country and our democracy." Now imagine if China, knowing this, because they're saying, I didn't continue on either of those two things. They're saying Mark Milley called his Chinese counterpart and said, "Listen, don't worry, like, I got this. Trump can't fire a nuke at you guys." Could you imagine telling your enemy, essentially, "I'm in here. You guys could actually open fire on us. Trump can make the call to give the codes, the nuclear codes, fire, retaliate, and they won't go through because I'm stepping in the way." That's effing treason, people. Nancy Pelosi's hands are all over it. Mark Milley's hands are all over it. Why do you think his name's been coming out here recently, Afghanistan, all this stuff? You are watching an epic playbook by Team Trump, in my humble opinion. These people are now being cast in the spotlight. This story today is so huge because it left our country vulnerable, and if something happened during that time period and Trump tried to save us from an attack, it would have been stopped. Wouldn't have happened because General Mark Milley was in the way. And there, again, I didn't continue reading it all. They said he told all of his people under him, I guess in the know anyways, higher level people, "You come to me," basically was the quote, "You come to me about anything. Don't worry about the president." So now Nancy's rhetoric, "Oh, you're unhinged, unstable," but we heard a lot of information about January 6th. Nobody's being charged with insurrection. A few people have been charged, or several, whatever, have been charged with interrupting Congress doing their duty. Oh boy. Holy moly, a protest that stopped them from working for a little while. That's a protest? That's a patriotic activity as far as I'm concerned. You stop these criminals from spending more money we don't have, giving backroom bailouts to their buddies, and enriching themselves by giving monies to these ABC corporations that then fall right back into their pockets. If that's breaking the law, man, jeez. Oh. So there's that. Very interesting. And we've had a lot of coronavirus exposés here recently. A lot. And I just watched a video on YouTube that shows 3 people in a hospital bed, Australians. "Yeah, you people need to get the vaccine. This is bad. You don't want to be here with me right now." Guy calls them crisis actors. Calls the hospital. It's on the video. They said the lady's name because she was one of them. There's a guy, a lady, and someone else that were, hospitalized, and they were able to get filmed inside the hospital for, the evening news that was passed around all the major networks in Australia. By the way, these 3 people, how sick they were. You got to go get your shot. Guy calls the hospital. "Hi, I'm in to check on my wife, see what room my wife's in." "What's the name?" "So and so." "We don't have anybody here by that surname at all." "You don't have any there at all by that surname?" "Nope." "Huh. Strange. So that's one, honestly, tiny thing. I'm hearing now, I can't say I've seen this, that some of the hospitals in other countries especially that have prohibited the population from using ivermectin. You can't use ivermectin at all. They're saying that the hospitals are treating vaccinated people who have COVID with ivermectin. This is supposedly from a first-hand account that I watched today on Twitter. Again, can't prove this. I'm just telling you what I saw. We have the FDA nonsense about the vaccine being approved. It's not really approved. We approved Comirnaty, but that's one that's not out yet. And we just re-upped the emergency authorization of the other two. We had a couple of rulings. A court, I'm not sure where this was. It was in the U.S. ruled can't do a vaccine mandate for some reason or another. So the pressure's on. This is why we're telling you, do not give in. Don't quit your job. Make them fire you if you don't want to get the vaccine and you refuse to do so just to have a job. Make them fire you. And I got a sneaky suspicion, as I've been saying, by the time these deadlines are given you, by October 21st, 22, you have to, or whatever the date is, I got a sneaky suspicion. A lot of these places, so much will have already changed in the COVID story that that's going to go out the window. Maybe not everywhere all at once, but I think a big part of it may go out the window all at once. And they're going to go, yeah, we can't push that. I mean, how could this just happened, or this information just came out? How are we going to do this? Oh, the Supreme Court took the case and actually ruled it's unconstitutional. Oh, how do we deal with? You don't. It could be something like that. So this is very interesting. Be ready. And this blockbuster news hits. This is absolutely, that would be treason. You called an enemy, essentially. A huge adversary, and gave him the lowdown. We're not going to attack. The nukes are locked up. The president can't do anything about it. And Nancy Pelosi was part of it. I spoke to Mark Milley today because she said it. So, do you recall a recent remote viewing session, not too long ago, that the crypto viewing team saw, one of them at least, a certain high-level older woman in very high power, congressional type, cardiac arrest, heart attack. And when they drew the picture, I go, I know who that is. And so do you. Very powerful woman in Congress. Some might even argue the most powerful woman. So now that this is coming out, the word treason's coming out, because there's no way. You want to hear how bad it gets? I've saved the best for last. You went and saved the best for last. Do you remember a high-ranking officer named Alex Vindman that said he heard a phone conversation Trump had? It was horrible, bad, it was illegal. And then we got the transcripts, and it was like, oh, that's a perfectly fine conversation, actually. Remember that guy? Vindman? Alexander S. Vindman. Blue check mark. On Twitter, I'm looking at it. I'll click on his name. Husband to Nat security hobbyist, whatever. Vet, defender of Constitution, New York Times bestselling author, former NSC, White House staffer, doctor, law firm institution. Yeah, that guy. And if you can see, maybe my green screen loves to key stuff out. It's his face, very small. It's him in his book. The guy that went after Trump again and failed, one of those guys, has a message regarding what I just told you about General Milley and essentially Pelosi, but he's talking about Milley in this case. This is his quote. I'm reading you because it's off of his Twitter. If this is true, and he's referring to what I've just told you about. So, He's replying to the Washington Post tweet. Compost tweet. Top general was so fearful Trump might spark war with China that he made secret calls to his counterpart in Beijing. New book says. They just posted this. Vindman replies, if this is true, General Milley must resign. He usurped the civilian authority, broke chain of command, and violated the sacrosanct principle of civilian control over the military. It's an extremely dangerous precedent. You can't simply walk away from that. Hashtag do the right thing the right way, he says. Again, this is a show. Do you think that bozo, Vindman, would all of a sudden now turn on the Democratic master overlords? Or is he supposed to do it now? So that those on the left, Vindman, he's our man. If he can't get Trump out, no one. Hey guys, you see what Vindman just said? No, I was so busy over here yelling at John Trump Jr. Yeah, I know you're a hardcore leftist. Man, you need to see this. Well, how do you know it's not a fake account? Blue check mark. It's the guy who's had his account for a long time. It's him. What's he saying? He's saying essentially, he's saying this is treason. He's not using those words. But this is treason. So all the leftists who follow Vindman, cheering, retweets, just got a punch to the mouth with a fistful of red pills. And I'm telling you, this is all by design. They have to have, as I've been saying, most of the population, when the Trump thing happens, that we're all waiting for, we'll be saying maybe not you and me, but the rest of the population, the normies, and many of these leftists, what took you so long? We didn't know. I didn't know. And by the way, some more breaking news today I just read. Alanis Morissette. When I was 15, a bunch of older men had their way with me, and she didn't exactly say she stopped them per se, but she was the victim. Breaking news. Just happened today, I read it. Alanis Morissette. Cause I got one hand on my crypto and the other one's holding a Webbot report. Be ready. My insider tells me, and all of this shit just happened. This thing about Milley is so big, and Pelosi, because she's attached to it, she already admitted, I had a conversation, we had this Trump deranged, we got to... She's done. So if I'm a betting man, and in this case I am, and I know some remote viewers who very recently saw a very high-level woman having a heart attack, cardiac arrest, boy, I think it's probably going to happen soon. Because if the word treason's being thrown around between those two, guess what? Exit stage right. Whether a heart attack happens to some certain somebody or not, and only thing you see is a headline that says it happened, to be honest, it doesn't matter one way or the other. Whether something like that really were to happen or not. The person is gone out of your effing life forever. One way or the other. Loss of power. Adjourning for the last time, remote viewers. Shoot, this one, might be adjourning for the last time herself. And then I say, when do the rest? When does that prediction of the remote viewers happen? Where the whole damn thing shut down? My insider, months. I've tried to reach out. Dude, are you there? You alive? You there? You got anything? You'd say anything? Nothing, not even a reply. Nothing. Out of nowhere, be ready. I'm so honored that they chose me again. Because this individual could honestly select a lot of people and say, boom, and they would say, oh my God, so-and-so. They wouldn't know to just keep it quiet. They would say, so-and-so just messaged me. And when I tell you who so-and-so is, you're going to be like, oh, snap, son. So, whoa. It's getting kind of heavy. It's getting kind of heavy. I think I just need to wait a few more seconds till the timer stops at 20 minutes and 22 seconds. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.